We are looking at chapter number 8, Devotional Paths to the Divine. Question answer on devotional paths to the divine. We'll match these. Buddha, he questioned social differences. Then Shankara Deva, Namghar, Nizamuddin Aulia, Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia, he was a Sufi saint. Nayanars, they were worshippers of Shiva, and Alvars, the worshippers of Vishnu. Fill in the blanks. Shankara was an advocate of, we have just seen, Advaita, and Ramanuja was influenced by the Alvars. Dash and Dash were advocates of Veershaivism. So Basavanna, Allama Prabhu and Akkama Devi, they were advocates of Veershaivism. Pandharpur was an important center of the Bhakti tradition in Maharashtra. Describe the belief and practices of the Nathanthis and Siddhas and Yogis. So they first of all advocated renunciation of the world. They believed that the path to salvation, that is moksha, lay in the meditation of the formless God and the realization of oneness with it. To achieve this way, advocated intense training. They advocated that you need to have intense training of the mind and the body through practices like yogasanas, breathing exercise like pranayam and meditation. They did not believe in the ritual and the different aspects of conventional religion and social order. What were the major ideas expressed by Kabir? How did he express these? So the major ideas expressed by Kabir, first of all, rejection of major religious traditions, criticism of all forms of external worship of both Brahmanical Hinduism and Islam, and criticism of the classes and caste system, and belief in a formless supreme God, an emphasis on bhakti or devotion to achieve salvation. So Kabir expressed his ideas in a vast collection of verses known as Sakhis and Pads, and they are said to have been composed by him and sung by wandering bhajan singers. Who were the major beliefs, or what were the major beliefs and practice of the Sufis? So Sufis were Muslim mystics. They rejected outward religiosity and they gave emphasis on love and devotion to God. They inspired people to be compassionate to all the fellow human beings. They rejected idol worship and considerably simplified rituals of worship into collective prayers. They believed that the heart can be trained to look at the world in a different way. They developed elaborate methods of training using zikr, meaning chanting of name or sacred formula, contemplation and then singing. Raqs means dancing. So sama means singing, raqs means dancing, and discussion of the parables, breath control under the guidance of master called as Peer. Why do you think many teachers rejected prevalent religious beliefs and practices? So many teachers rejected prevalent religious beliefs and practices because these were based on social differences, excess ritualism and outward display piety. What were the major teachings of Baba Guru Nanak? Baba Guru Nanak emphasized the importance of worship of one God. He insisted that caste, creed, gender, they were irrelevant for attaining the liberation, and his idea of liberation was based on the pursuit of active life with a strong sense of social commitment. He used the term Naam, Dan and Insan for the essence of his teaching, which actually meant right worship, that is right worship, welfare of others and purity of conduct. He gave importance to right belief and worship, honest living and helping others. And Guru Nanak therefore promoted the idea of equality. For either the Veer Shaivas or the saints of Maharashtra discuss their attitude towards caste. So they believed in the equality of all human beings. They were against Brahmanical ideas about caste and the treatment of women, and they wished for society where people of all backgrounds could live in harmony without any feeling of high, low, or rich or poor. Why do you think ordinary people preserved the memory of Mirabai? Now, Mirabai was actually a princess, Rajput princess, who was married into a royal family of Mewar. But she had no interest in the worldly affair. She was an ardent devotee of Krishna and wanted to devote her time to the worship of her Lord Krishna. You can say she was in love with Krishna. She had no belief in princely status and other norms of high-class society. Her devotion to her deity was supreme. Therefore, she left the royal palace and began to lead simple life like an ordinary person. Find out whether in your neighborhood there are any dargah, gurdwara or temples that are associated with saint of bhakti tradition in your neighborhood. Visit any one of these and describe what you see and hear. So I just leave it to you because there are different students of different places. So just find it out and try to write things on the pretext of the topic we have gone through. For any of these saint poets whose composition have been included in this chapter, find out more about their work. Noting down the poem. So again, this is also for your area, so you need to do it by yourself. Then there are severed saint poets, again, whose names have been mentioned, but the works have not been included in this chapter. Find out more about the language in which they composed, whether their composition were sung, and what their composition are about. This is also for your attempt. Why did Puranic stories consist of and what did they consist of? So Puranic stories consisted of local myths and legends. Who were the Pulaiyar and the Panars? So they were considered untouchables, achut. How many alvars were there? So there were 12 alvars. Name the two sets of compilation of Nayanar songs, Tevaram and Tiruvakam. Name the set of compilation of Alvar songs. So Divya Prabandham. What did Ramanuja propound? So he propounded the doctrine of this Vishisht Advaita, or you can say qualified oneness in the soul, even when united with the Supreme God remained distinct. Soul remained distinct. What is Abhang? It is Marathi devotional hymn. Name any two saints of Maharashtra, Namadev and Tukaram. Who were Sufis? Sufis were Muslim mystics. Name any two great Sufis of Central Asia, Ghazali and Rumi. What are Namgars? So they are houses of recitation and prayer, a practice that continues even today. What was known as Dharmshal? So Baba Guru Nanak created sacred places which was known as Dharmsal, and now we know it by Gurdwara. To whom did Baba Guru Nanak appoint, or to whom did he appointed his successor? He appointed Guru Angad, one of his followers, as his successor. What is Guru Granth Sahib? So Guru Granth Sahib is the holy scripture of the Sikhs. Why did the Mughal Emperor Jahangir order the execution of Guru Aljan in 1606? The Mughal Emperor Jahangir looked upon the Sikh community as a potential threat, and therefore he ordered the execution of this Guru. What did the terms Naam, Dan and Insan mean? So Isnan, this is Isnan means taking a bath. So the term Naam, Dam and Isnan means right for worship, welfare of others, and purity of conduct. Who compiled the composition of Baba Guru Nanak? So Guru Angad compiled the composition of Baba Guru Nanak. Who were the Nayanars and Alvars? Write about them in brief. So the Nayanars and Alvars led religious movements in South India during 7th and 9th, 10th centuries. The Nayanars were devotees of Shiva, while the Alvars were the devotees of Vishnu. They came from all castes, including those considered as untouchable, like the Pulayars and the Panars. So they actually, found Shiva and Vishnu as the path of salvation. They went from place to place, composing beautiful poems in praise of the deities enshrined in the villages they visited, and set them to music. There were 63 Nayanars who belonged to different caste backgrounds. There were 12 Alvars who came from equally divergent backgrounds. Who was Ramanuja, and what are the main points of his preachings? So Ramanuja was a Bhakti saint. He was born in Tamil Nadu in 11th century. He was deeply influenced by the Alvars. So the main points of Ramanuja preaching, he taught people that best means of attaining salvation, that is moksha, was through intense devotion to Vishnu. Vishnu in his grace helps the devotee to attain the bliss of union with him. He propounded the doctrine of Vishwadeta, or qualified oneness, in that the soul, even when united with the Supreme God, it remained distinct. What do you mean by Khankas? What purpose did it serve? So Khankas were houses of rest for travelers, especially one kept by a religious order. So Sufi masters usually held their assemblies here, and devotees of all descriptions, including members of the royalty and nobility and ordinary people, flocked to these Khankas. Here they discussed spiritual matters, sought the blessings of saints in solving their worldly problems, or simply attended the music and dance sessions. Then the songs are as much as creation of the saints as of generations of people who sang them. You have to explain it. So the work of the saint were composed in regional languages, and they could be sung. Now they became very popular and were handed down orally from one generation to another. Usually the most deprived community and women, they transmitted these songs. Now they even added their own experiences to them. Therefore the song as we have them today are much a creation of the saints as of generation of people who sang them, because they added their own experiences. They have become a part of our living culture. Who was Kabir? How do we know about him? So Kabir probably lived in the 15th, 16th century. He was one of the most influential saints. He was brought up in a family of Muslim Julahas and weavers settled in or near the city of Banaras, now Varanasi. We have little reliable information about the life of Kabir. We come to know about his ideas from a vast collection of verses called the Sakhis and Paths, which are said to be have been compiled and composed by him, sung by the wandering bhajan singers. Who were the followers of Baba Guru Nanak? So Baba Guru Nanak had a large number of followers. They belonged to a number of castes, but traders, agriculturists, artisans and craftsmen predominated. Thus the followers of Guru Nanak were all householders and adopted productive and useful occupation, and they were expected to contribute to the general funds of the community of followers. Why was the Mughal Emperor Jahangir hostile in Sikh community? How did the Sikh movement gain momentum? So by the beginning of the 17th century, the town of Ramdaspur, Amritsar, had developed around the central Gurudwara known as Harmandir Sahib, the Golden Temple. It was virtually self-governing body, and the modern historians refer to the early 17th century Sikh community as the state within a state. Now this made the Mughal Emperor Jahangir hostile in the Sikh community, hostile to this community. Now he looked upon them as a potential threat, and he ordered the execution of Guru Aljan in 1606. So it is from this time the Sikh movement began to gain momentum. It was developed, or it was a development which culminated in the institution of Khalsa by Guru Gobind Singh in 1699. Right, in brief about the ideas of Shankara and Ramanuja. So let us see about Shankara first, then we go to Ramanuja. So Shankara, he was one of the most influential philosophers of India. He was born in Kerala in the 8th century. He was an advocate of Advaita, or the doctrine of oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God, the ultimate reality. So he taught that the Brahman, or the only or the ultimate reality, was formless and without any attributes. He considered the world around us to be illusion or Maya and preached the renunciation of the world and adoption of the path of knowledge to understand the true nature of Brahman and attain salvation. Then Ramanuja, he was born in Tamil Nadu in 11th century and was deeply influenced by the Alvars. Now he preached that the best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Vishnu. Vishnu, in his grace, helped the devotee to attain the bliss of union with him, and he propounded the doctrine of Vishishta Advaita, of qualified oneness, in that of soul, even when united with the Supreme God, remained distinct. Soul still remained distinct. Write a brief note on religious development in the northern India. So during the 13th century, a new wave of Bhakti movement began in North India. And this was the age when Islam, the Brahman, Hinduism, Sufism, various strands of Bhakti, and the Nathanthis, Siddhas and Yogis, they influenced one another. Ordinary people like craftspersons, peasant traders, they showed their interest in listening to new saints. Kabir and Baba Guru Nanak, they did not approve the orthodox religious beliefs. So Tulsidas and Surdas, they accepted belief and practice, but wanted to make them accessible to everyone. Tulsidas conceived the God in the form of Rama. His Ramcharitmanas is a unique creation. Surdas was an ardent devotee of Krishna. So his composition compiled in Sur Sagra, Ravali and the Sahitya Lahari express his devotion. Now Shankara Deva of Assam emphasized devotion of Vishnu and composed poems and plays in Assamese. He began the practice of setting up namagars, or you can say house of recitation and prayers. Saints like the Dadu Daya, Ravidas and Mirabai, they were also worth mentioning. Mirabai, inspired being a Rajput, married to Mewar family in 16th century, became a disciple of the Ravidas, an untouchable saint. So she devoted her life to Lord Krishna. She composed a number of bhajans expressing her intense devotion. So, a unique feature of most of the saints is that their works were composed of regional languages and that could be sung, and therefore they were very popular among the common people, common mass. So these were the question and answer of this topic. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.